No, no, no. You can't just volunteer me for that, DK. No way. I don't dislike singing, but I can't. Not in front of everyone.
Oh.